people see those signs out on the edge of Cricketwood Road, and they think it's the whole property, and it's not. But we talked through, we had a really nice exhibit. We talked through adding to it, so we'll have a nice exhibit on the road, and you'll see when they all go on the 16th.
Mayor, I have a question. Yes, sir. So on that mountain, is there one that could be close in the state? Or anywhere that we can?
No, but there is a history on there, some negativity out there about this, but the earlier one started off with a surface that was about lithium in it. Lithium is much more flammable than sodium. But they changed the chemistry of those things and changed the format of it. You can imagine a bunch of cargo containers.
So with that in mind, is there one that's up to speed now, so to speak?
Well, I asked that, and she was giving us current pictures or something.
Because I'd like to go visit it. I wouldn't mind taking a day, 2 trip and just go. Just because you want to alleviate all the noise about the noise and all that stuff.
Her name is Carol, and she'll be here. Right, she's here. So that's the way we'll get on that. Okay. I got a written suburban and. All right, here we go. Joey, roll yours. Microphone's on, please.
Board, Mr. Mark Becker. Thanks for having us again. Look forward to continuing the conversation of the proposed zoning map changes and some red lines. One thing of note is on the March 16th regular scheduled board meeting, we have cherry-picked, if you will, a couple of things that would really help me day to day. One of them being the appointments, the operations of the Planning Commission, and also the build-to-rent provisions. It's the only things that we're putting on this public hearing for consideration. But other than that, everything else is still on the table. I don't want to speak for Ms. Gray here, but we would really like some input on direction, how the board is feeling, what they would like to see, and see if we can make that happen as quick as possible. Thank you.
Can I ask a question real quick? What are the provisions of the build to rent?
The provisions of the build to rent at a high level, I can read those. They're in your red lines with minor changes. One of them being the only proposed location that makes sense is it's allowed in R8, which is and it would be conditional use only. The build to rent would be, they would allow, it's proposed currently 25 homes max per development.
25 homes or percent?
25 home in the build to rent, and Chris, if the board chose to do a build to rent development, right?
Okay.
That's if
No, it's only 25.
so.
No, there are only 50 homes in this development. And it's not a building.
Yeah, if it's designated a build to rent, they're allowed up to. If it's not a designated build to rent, it's the 25% rule that you are mentioning. So any subdivision, and they have it in their covenants, they have to put in those covenants all the languages that we've had before in that moratorium. It's enforceable by our staff and the city staff up to that limitation as it relates to the zoning ordinance.
Hold on, there's one other point on the number of houses in the building rent and in the R8 as conditional use, and he's got a mileage that goes by
Yeah, radial.
I don't know how everyone else feels, but 25% rental homes in a development is just, I don't think that's good for a quality development. I would like 0, but 5%? I mean, if a developer continues, this is to cover the developer if the economy changes or something. If a developer continues to build homes, then that's on them.
Well, but those are covered lease issues. That's handled differently.
Well, still, I don't think anything that has 25% rental homes is good for the city of Brandon. What are our sister cities?
Not doing build to rent or not doing a percentage in the subdivision?
I don't know that they're doing that, Joey, what are they doing?
Either one?
Oh,
I think there are some that are doing it with restrictions. 20%'s coming to mind. I don't have it in front of me, and I've been looking at everybody that's not touched it lately, so I can't say more than that, but 20% comes to mind. On build to rent specifically.
Is the consensus, y'all want to look at 5%?
Five, yeah.
All right, let's put that number, and then we'll start doing some research and see how it fits. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
yeah, to be clear, Chris, this is that moratorium that's been going on. I just pulled from that.
Right,
And
yeah.
so,
And I don't want,
When you mentioned that it was coming back up with some new provisions, I didn't know what had changed. Because that's one of the things that I wanted to address, and I didn't know if that was in the development ordinance or where.
no, sir, it would be in the zone. Yes, sir. So, the major things that changed from the red line that was presented for you, and with Mr. Bob excuse me, what's his last name? Mr. Bob Barber. Thank you. What he proposed initially a long time ago was it was going to be a conditional use in R12, R8, and PUD. It was discussed that it may be better to remove that from R12 with all the developments that were going, Chris, and also the PUD, and keeping R8 where it just makes sense for the city, and so we can do this in a controlled way. And also still be conditional use, so the board could consider case by case if it makes sense. And the other one was, it was proposed 50 homes if it was considered a build to rent. It was 50 homes initially in a half-mile radial. We changed that to 25 and 1 mile, 25 homes max per development and 1 mile. So those are the two differences that were that what you're used to for the past 2.5 years.
what do we need to do to not have a build to rent subdivision at all?
You want to take that?
That's a very tricky question, so I'm going to give you the answer that I think keeps everyone in a good place. Legally, you cannot exclude any use, just outright exclude it from your local government. So you can't say we will not allow any of blank type uses. So one way that local governments regulate that is by zoning as a conditional use, or by creating floating zones where there is maybe land designated for it, but there's none that's undeveloped. Or it's a situation where you've addressed it in the text, you have it in your ordinance, but you don't, and it's a separate zoning district. So let's say we just create something and call it BTR, and it's addressed in your ordinance, but it's not mapped on the land use plan or on the zoning. Then someone has to come in and request that to happen. But you are providing a pathway for them to make that request, and you have acknowledged it. That is if you want to exclude something, that is the only way that I can recommend, because I have to say you cannot exclude.
Is that kind of what we're doing with that PUD and the T&D?
Well, but a little different on that.
Okay.
In this particular instance, you're identifying a place specifically for build to rent. You're saying it can go in R8, but it's got to be a conditional use. There's not a lot, depending on which direction the map goes, there's not a lot of R8 that is actually available and buildable. A lot of it's already built. Okay. Rankin County, for instance, took a similar position. They allow them as conditional use in a certain zoning district that does not have a substantial amount of vacant land available. So that would be my recommendation on those.
Right now, you said it's R8, or that's what it's designed in R8?
Yeah, that's what we're proposing is
That's what you're
R8 on-
proposing, okay.
Yeah.
Why not like R43?
Well, because we're very constitutional.
Okay.
In everything we do. Okay? We're also on the last.
Well, let me answer. It's kind of like putting adult entertainment in an industrial district. They have
You
sued.
do that, but if you can find it, I'll give you $5.
I got you.
Yeah, so there's case law that says adult entertainment is not industrial. Why are you shoving us in this category? So the floating district is your better,
So the intent, when you get the map,
Mhm.
will be that there will be a okay?
Mhm.
And if it doesn't appear that way, then we'll do some more work.
Okay.
Does that help? That's on the purity standalone, okay? That's not on the 5%. You got it? Okay. Okay. And we will effort to make sure that that coincides with what we're talking about, to make sure that happens, okay?
I was just thinking if somebody wanted to build, 3,000 square foot houses and rent them for a little while, I could understand that. Just saying.
You want to have a HOA meeting?
Is there anything else, Chris, in the built to rent, specifically since it's being brought up on March 16th that is just standing out, just that percentage?
I'll answer it. And that will require covenants and HOAs and regulations, and you'll have to go to the doors, so we'll have all that on the road. All that is outside of the covenants, we'll have board and doors and the last thing is that you're proposing this next set of them, are you talking about convention? No, that's not.
It's public hearing and, yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Well, we were hoping, again, that we could come to some direction to what the board would like to see with the zoning map. And if there's something that's not desirable or we thought it should go a different way, if we could discuss that today.
Did you bring that map? Okay.
So, at what point, that was one of the things that I asked, right, is like, when we refer to medium density, high density, like, we don't even have a definition of that, my definition of medium density is really clear. So where do we address lot size and square footage?
You're-
Because that says a lot about what goes in the zoning map. Okay, well, because like, for example, I said, okay, medium density, I consider R12 medium density, you were like, that's borderline, you really had that loaded. Well, I would have been for some of that, had I not known, you know, you see what I'm saying? So I want to know when we address that.
Okay, so the categories of low, medium, high come from the land use plan, which set the stage for a lot of the zoning changes to occur. They had those, and that's the chart that I did for you, gives their unit densities pulled out of the text, and it's cited with page numbers, and how it correlates to your zoning ordinance, which is really where you get into the very specifics of the actual lot size and requirements of what goes there.
So I think right now, we're maybe too much in the weeds on low, medium, high density. We've already kind of done that, and there may still be a definitional issue that we have to kind of pull together on some of this. But if there are properties or parcels that you would like to look at as a certain classification, let's do that. Well, and that goes back to my question, because on the land use map, Gray had medium. I said, but I'm saying, I thought that was R12. If that's not R12, then I want to go back and address that. All right, well, let's set that aside for a moment, because this is the circular argument we're not getting to. Let's see what you're talking about, let's move forward from there, and then we can maybe determine based on that whether we're talking about the same thing or not.
Chris?
I would rather look at the issues you have with regard to the proposed zoning map and say, you guys have this as RS. This needs to be RY. That's what I think we need to do, and then we need to look at RY to see whether it a minimum 2,000 square foot house on a minimum lot area of 43,560. That addresses what's in the RE 43 with those issues. Are you guys satisfied with that? Are you not satisfied with that? And then, do you see RE on the map? Are you satisfied with that? But I think we can go right now and say, what exists on the map that you want to change? And let's look at those issues, let's look at those items.
First one is one across from the data center. The big place, what's his name, head and target zone. The big one across from the data center.
Here's the map. I met with most everybody individually here and got there.
I was gonna say, I welcome this conversation, and I want y'all to know, like, I think most everything we can squeeze into these districts, how we want to.
This is, well, this should have happened 2 months ago.
This is one land use map, this is another land use map, they're not the same. So I really don't know what we're doing.
I think it's probably gonna like whatever it started with your own. And I will make those.
So see, for example, this right here says low density. All of this.
That
This is
was-
in Tank We're doing
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say, that was not adopted. This is the draft version that is not what you adopted. So this,
This is low density and medium density.
this is the one that adopted, no?
This is the official.
That's the actual one.
This is the official 115. Well, that's different than this.
Right.
They gave me this. I did not.
These
Yes,
are-
you did.
No, I think this one is the same. It's that, it's just a volume.
Yeah. This is what was adopted.
What we all, that's what I wrote up and
So there were multiple drafts. And these portions of the picture changed several times during that draft process.
Okay, so this is good. It's
That's
This is the official map, right? Okay. And I'm just talking, so this is just high density residential. This cross Creek Methodist Church property is on high density residential. I don't understand that. That's y'all church, so.
No, I'm glad you caught that. That's an error. That should not be. Now, I will say on the churches, we were taking them from the, what the current ordinance has is office research. And we're moving them back to more similar residential or commercial, whatever is surrounding it, because churches are allowed as public, quasi-public uses and can go in any zoning district. So for example, let's say that, the example I've used, Brandon Baptist is the example I've used a couple of times. Well, if it's office research and they close, something happens to the church dissolves, then that's a huge office research that could allow a lot of industrial to occur in that area. So my recommendation is to rezone all of the churches, government buildings as much as possible to a residential or commercial use, understanding that they are allowed as a public, quasi-public. Now, the multifamily is an issue.
Yeah.
That, yes,
And
yes.
that's what, at one time, we had, the special use district or something for churches and parks and schools and all that, which, that doesn't concern me really. I mean,
Right.
Shallow parks,
Charlotte Park,
Or
same,
well.
same thing,
Right.
but it's developed at the park.
right. Those things don't concern me.
But there's not a, on the map, you won't see that
that needs to go, we're full of 10
And on the land use plan that was adopted, it is reduced. In fact, even the front where it is developed.
We could. So, see, we approved this over here, on
Right.
the Ergon property, and then next door, and then downtown, at the bank, where that is. I mean, we've approved some apartment lots over the last couple of years. Is that now, that's been being here, well, so, I don't know how they did that on lot four.
Okay, so
That was supposed to be redone on lot four.
we're saying all of this vacant land
Yes.
around Lake Forest should be R12. Okay.
That, okay, this, we bumped this up one time, I don't know. This right here on Sunset is high density residential. That's undeveloped. In the middle of single family residence.
Yes.
I agree. Contrast it a little bit.
Okay, so
That's
so
your,
this is vacant, and we want to go,
there are some townhouses right here that face over these, but these two parcels are undeveloped. And this area is starting to revitalize
okay,
as some people moving downtown.
okay.
People buying these homes and redoing them and flipping them and everything else, and I think that's one of your growth areas for downtown residential.
Okay.
Mr. Kendra, that's, going currently that way. We just wasn't a public piece.
Okay, so would, but, and the reason I'm asking, because trying to balance what is here on the land use plan with what we're trying to go towards. Something like, an RM4, which is a townhouse with a 0 lot patio, or, the RM8, the suburban mixed use.
Well, you got our equipment right there.
You got art from here, but we're missing, because of what's already on the land use plan right now, we would be really going against it to their art club. Because right here, that particular parcel is multi-family.
It's surrounded by R12, except for one little parcel. That's,
Right. I would recommend coming back and revisiting that in particular.
it's on a ditch, I don't think it can be developed anyway.
I think that was the idea, is it probably can't be developed, and so because it was currently done that, we left it. Someone was and if we make it a smaller lot size and do the suburban mix or the townhome, then it could. You see, they wouldn't be able to fit our 12 lots in here.
Because I think they're gonna get some pressure with this and Brandon Heights and High Point House. I think they're gonna get some pressure, and if they get pressure, because they're running their options to go down, they may. So
Further, we're about to revise the road, we're not committed enough to that part right now. So, once that happens, we'll have a good eyesight in there and start to look at it.
let's give that one a
Okay,
chance.
so that's all about density resolution. Is that correct?
You got the one on the corner at over in the.
What about down here, then? South west here? Is that density resolution?
Not. Okay, so this is already done. Your current zoning map has that already pulled here.
The rest of it can't be.
The rest of it, there's a current map now.
You see it, how what can we do with the market? I don't tell you. 727 acres. And you never look at what you're doing. Behind over to the back, you don't got 2 acres in that, much less 7.
So, I'm fine pushing this on well, get anything here. Because of how it is on the land plan, because of how it's currently zoned. I'm gonna be real cautious and say, you might get an RMA out of that, but you'll not. That would be my, that would be my second. R4, which is town home, is your lot line. RM8 is 5 and RM4 is 6.
If it's low density, 21. 32 to 43, depending on where it is.
Which is in the
R4. And there's some criteria there too.
And then, on top of all that, put something.
But it's not very fast, it's not all the way. Looking back on it now, I would say we should put something on. You like this is more like development, it's supposed to be like, this
say it was an arbitrary decision. You don't want to get that arbitrary decision.
What, this is the land use.
this is the west side of the North Street, this is one of the only kind of undeveloped, semi-undeveloped where it comes from. Unfortunately, there's a lot of that. But that's what I'm saying. One piece of that. I'm just asking.
That's a lot. That would be a lot.
You know, stretch.
It would just create a lot of development. Now, Mark's.
My husband does not know what to do with a pot roast. It's like, how am I supposed to feed these children?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll get these changes. Tony will probably have them ready